I truly believe this issue needs to be addressed, and we need your leadership to push back against this current administration's lack of wanting to see people like me.
Hey everyone, you just saw that clip. Now tell me, do I look white to you? That right there was the exact moment when a serious policy hearing took a sharp turn into full-blown political theater. What we're watching comes from a House Oversight Committee hearing, where Representative Rashida Tlaib, one of the most outspoken members of the squad, is questioning U.S. Census Director Stephen Dillingham. Now, for context, this discussion was supposed to be about the 2020 census and the proposed category for people of Middle Eastern or North African descent, also called MENA. But as you just saw, that's not really where Tlaib wanted to go. Instead of focusing on the policy, she turned the hearing into a personal and emotional moment, asking Dillingham a question that's basically impossible to answer. Do I look white to you? This wasn't about gathering facts or improving the census. It was about creating a viral political moment, a clip that would explode across the internet. What we're seeing isn't a policy hearing anymore. It's a stage for political messaging. Tlaib is playing one game, emotional, confrontational, and attention-grabbing, while the census director is playing another, careful, bureaucratic, and by the book. Before we roll the full exchange, I want your take. Do you think her question was fair and honest, or was it a political setup meant to corner him on camera? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And if you enjoy seeing these political showdowns broken down and explained clearly, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. All right, let's watch how it all unfolds.
In 2015, Director, the category went into the field for testing, and based on the findings, the Census Bureau recommended the inclusion of MENA category in the 2020 census. Despite these findings, however, the Census Bureau announced under the current administration that MENA category would not be included in the census. Dr. Dillingham, do I look white to you?
Congresswoman, I think that if you tell me what you identify with, and I think I would respect that.
Sure. So, Dr. Director, are you aware that people like me who are Arab, Middle Eastern, North African have to indicate that they're white on the U.S. Census?
Congresswoman, we actually have on the, and I understand, you know, that there was a process in deciding, certainly before I got to the census, and there's a history to coming up with the questions and the race and ethnicity categories, and that OMB...
No, they ignored
approved,
it. Director, before you...
Yeah.
But they ignored it. The previous administration decided to put MENA on the form. They ignored it. But do you think if I circled white category, that would be an accurate depiction of my racial and ethnic background?
Congresswoman, we do not second guess what you put down
okay.
there.
Well,
and we do have a write-in. We do have a write-in.
Director,
People can,
you're not giving me an option, because let me tell you, there's a reason why the recommendation happened.
Sure.
Because would circling white on the census change my lived experience as a person of color in our country? Right? Even saying that, you understand there's a difference when you actually have the checkoff box. Because the MENA community, like others, relies on accurate census representation for health research, Director, language assistant, civil rights laws, and reporting educational outcomes. In addition, it would help address things like crime reporting, Director, helping minority business owners get loans, and drawing congressional and state legislative boundaries. So, Director, do you believe it is important to better collect racial and race information from census participants of Middle Eastern and North African descent?
Congresswoman,
do you believe that, though?
I can say that by having the write-in provision, that is the
Sir,
option.
it doesn't have the same impact, and you know that. You know that.
No.
That's why the community pushed to add the category of MENA, and they did it right. They went through the process, and they got it approved. And this administration decided to ignore them and to make them invisible again, right? That's what you're doing. You're making us invisible. No, the continued absence of this ethnic category contributes to erasing us. Our living, working, we all live and work and raise our families here. I truly believe this issue needs to be addressed, and we need your leadership to push back against this current administration's lack of wanting to see people like me being represented on an official government federal form that decides around funding, decides how they're going to treat us, how they're going to approach health research, language assistance, all those kinds of things. And I mean, you know, Director, we need to get it right, because I'm not white. I'm not. And I don't just, try to say to others that you should be this or that. But when I sit on this form and I look at it, I don't see myself represented on this form. And I think that's a huge issue for people like me. Sure. And I need you to do more. and pushing back against this current administration, ignoring what the previous administration was able to do. And the U.S. Census Bureau decided to add MENA, and they ignored it.
Congresswoman, I can assure you that we continue to study race and ethnicity and the options for self-reporting that.
Director?
And let me just say that
But we've been
want your
studied enough.
we want your views, and we're beginning the process of looking at the 2030 census.
Okay, we've all seen the clip now. Let's just call that question. Do I look white to you? What it really is, a trap. That wasn't a genuine question. It was a gotcha moment designed for one purpose only, to create a viral headline. It's not meant to start a real discussion or solve a real problem. It's meant to make the other person look bad, no matter what he says. Think about it. What's this man, a government statistician, supposed to say on camera? If he says no, you don't look white, he's basically agreeing with her entire political argument. If he says yes, according to the form, he instantly becomes the villain, branded online as insensitive or racist. Either way, he loses. And she knows it. That's the point. This isn't oversight. It's political performance, a made-for-TV confrontation to fire up her supporters. Watch closely. She interrupts him every single time he tries to explain the process. The moment he begins to talk about the process, she cuts him off. She doesn't want a dialogue. She wants a soundbite. You're making us invisible. It's a strategy, using emotion to overpower the dull, detailed reality of how government actually works. Now look at Director Dillingham. He's in an impossible position, and honestly, he handles it smartly. He doesn't take the bait. Every answer he gives is by the book. There's a process. This decision was made before I arrived. There's a write-in option. From a bureaucratic standpoint, those are the correct, safe answers. He's keeping it factual, staying on legal ground, and doing everything he can to avoid being dragged into a racial argument that he can't possibly win. Meanwhile, Tlaib's point is that the write-in option doesn't work because that data isn't properly categorized. It often ends up lumped under white, which means statistically, the MENA community disappears on paper. And if you don't exist on paper, you don't get resources or funding. So while he's trying to talk about data, she's using emotion to force a policy change. It's a total clash of worlds, the activist versus the administrator. This kind of confrontation isn't about problem solving, it's about getting attention. And whether you agree with her or not, that's exactly what she got. So what do you think? Was that a bold move that raised awareness, or just another example of political theater at its worst? Tell me in the comments. And if you enjoy deep dives like this, don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned. I'll see you in the next one.